So before you go any further, make sure you checked out the first part of this highlight. It was the race for the Prem, and you can see how the race unfolded up until this point. But as we join the action again towards the end of the first lap, you can see that the Prem decimated the peloton. There is around 10 riders in the front group. We've got a clutch of Belgium riders in that as well. So we've got 4 Belgium riders there. We've got a Brit, a Pole, one of the French riders, he's up there. I've not seen him in the last couple of weeks. We've got 2 Dutch riders. But what you'll notice there, PK, my apologies, not PK, Templar from Team Z, he's isolated this week, and that could cause a few problems towards the end. Here we see the first real dig off the front, the first acceleration in Urensen. He's driving it hard towards the line on the first lap. Don't know if this was a genuine attack away or he was just looking for the orange jersey for the best lap of the race. But he will pick that up as we just see him go across the line just now. Now as we cut back to the action, he's already put 13 seconds on this group behind. So his Belgium teammates from Team TK.BE, they're not going to do any work to chase him down. It's going to be down to the other riders, which is just going to have to mean that they're going to have to work just that little bit harder. And as we cut back to him here, you can see them just rounding the corner, just in the background. He is now in the orange jersey, and as we cut back to them again, they are chasing it down, and eventually they do catch him back up, but it took some hard work from the American and the British riders. There he is, back into the fold. He's going to sit in there now in the group, try and get a bit of recovery in there, and allow the rest of the riders to try and string this out. Becomes a lot more tactical this race when you do have teammates. Now, further down the road, will we see here in the red jersey? PK. That Prem took a lot of work out of those legs, and he wasn't able to stay with that front group like he normally does week in, week out. So unfortunately, he paid the price for winning the prize, and that means he's stuck in this group. Still talented riders in there. Phillips from Australia, we've got M-Mac McDaddy in there from Great Britain. Frank Garcia I can see in there. Law's in there, Ox is in there, and he's going to have a great sprint finish towards the end. Keep an eye out for him. And as we head up into no man's land, we've got GS here, 43 seconds behind the main group, 30 seconds behind the group behind him that we were just checking out with PK. This is Ganderton, also in a world of his own. Now what these 2 riders need is for that group to close up behind, or the front group to start to slow so they can get back in the fold. But there you saw that GS was just getting caught by that group behind, so that was good that he could get in that group and hopefully get towed up at a higher pace. Let's cut back to the action here, and we see a Windsock, 56, brilliant name, 56 years old, possibly that could mean. He's in the D group. Behind him, that is the front group chasing him down hard. So already with a lap and a half almost complete, this rider getting a couple of ride-ons there, one from myself, he's getting lapped. Such is the pace of that front group. As you can see, it's back to Bobink, who is trying to stretch out that group, just testing out the legs, just trying to soften everyone up just a little bit. He is working on his own. He is from the B group. So as you can see, that group there, the group has started to swell, just picking up a few back markers and training rides. Hopefully they're not going to come into contention towards the end of the race and they'll get out of the way. But the group is still relatively big, and because this race is short and now it's only 3 laps, the pace is even harder than before. Let's cut back. Later on in the race we see Bobink start to take the front of this group, rounds a left-hander, and before you know it, he stopped pedaling. I don't know if he's dropped his chain. It could have possibly had some sort of mechanical problem there, but it looks like he's getting dropped. We're going to stay with him for the time being. Thankfully, whatever the problems were, they seem to have sorted themselves out, but he's going to have to put a big dig in just to try and close that gap. He's already lost 7 seconds according to the stats, so he's going to have to put in a big dig. Ronan's still in there, the C group rider. That's good work from him. But we're up around 700-800 watts here for Bobink. trying to close that gap. Eventually, he will get across, but at what price? What's it taking out of his legs? We'll find out as we head towards the next climbs and the last lap. Let's give him a little ride on, because that was hard work. That was a tough effort to try and close that gap, but thankfully he's done it. And as we head back up the road onto the last lap, it's status quo at the front. Riders are starting to get a little bit fatigued, a little bit tired now. And the way this course is laid out, it looks like it's going to stay this way right to that first climb. It's going to be too hard unless the Belgium team try and work together and give it the old 1-2. They're not going to get away. Now following Self in the action. Now I don't know if this is a little tactic to try and break up that little group of Belgium riders, but he seems to ride one of the Belgium riders out the back. Tijgat seems to sit on his wheel as they just lose the wheel in front and the group starts to pull away. Again, I don't know if that's tactical or these two riders are on the limit, but whatever it is, it means Tijgat has to respond to it to close that gap, and he does. But Self still sits there, and now he gets out of the saddle and tries to close that gap. So I'm not too sure what was going on there, but again, it meant that Self had to put a big dig in. You can see the effort he's putting out here just to close that gap for no apparent reason, maybe a lapse in concentration. But whatever it is, he's back in there, so's Tijgat, and it's status quo. Bobing has been dropped and he's over 30 seconds back now. Here we are on the King of the Mountain now for the first time on the last lap, and it's that man Templar again making the work, making the Belgians respond to him. He's not waiting for them to attack him, he's attacking them. He's taking it to all the riders in that front group and getting away. Tijgat tries to respond, De Groom tries to respond, the French rider Alexis, he tries to respond, as does the Pole, and nowhere to be seen is Jurensen in that orange jersey at the minute. Self's there, so he's got 7 seconds on Jurensen. Just keep an eye on that gap as it comes down. 5 seconds, coming down to 4 seconds, but he looks like he's away on his own. Is it going to be a repeat of what happened last week when he attacked on this same climb and he left them all for dead and no one was to see him for the rest of the race? 2 seconds now to Jurensen. Jurensen's rocketing up here. Unfortunately, you can't see his power. It looks around 10 watts per kilo there. But Templar takes another King of the Mountains. But watch this here. There's Jurensen, like a rocket, closing that gap. Holds that gap. Now remember, Jurensen is on Z power, but as we will cut back to him shortly, you will see that his heart rate is up there. So regardless of whether he's got it calibrated right or wrong, he's working hard to stay with Templar. There we go, 175 you saw just flash up then. Back. This is the second climb. 12%, 13% gradient now. Templar's done exactly the same again. He's accelerated away right at the base of the climb, and hopefully he's trying to break Jurensen's spirit, trying to break his legs, and trying to get away for the finish, for the solo victory. But again, Jurensen closes that gap, and then some. He's going to take the second King of the Mountains on 23rd Street. Don't forget, prizes for first position, second position and third. We've got $25 for the winner of this race, $15 for the second, $10 for third. Thanks to our sponsors, Loft and Shove. You can check their website out at loftandshove.com. Great little website, well worth a check out. So, Templar is having to work a lot harder on that descent to catch Jurensen up. Jurensen's had a little bit of a breather there. He's not really worked that hard, but Templar's had to press on. There's no other option. He either presses on, catches back up, and hopefully gets a little bit of a breather in this flat section before the little drag up. But we're heading towards the drag now. We've got the polka dot jersey, we've got the orange jersey here. Just getting out the saddle as this drag starts. And again, this pace is really high, 4.5 watts per kilo, 6 watts per kilo for Templar. Templar goes again. Is Jurensen going to respond to that? It looks like he is. That's a better view there. Yep, Jurensen's out the saddle now. He's pressing on. He's trying to chase it down. He's putting out some big watts. Templar looks like he could be cooked here. He's really struggling. Check out Paterna here, leaving her for dead. So the riders out on the training rides just getting in the way just a little bit of this finish. But everybody's out there riding. That's the main thing. Everybody's out there trying to better themselves. Hell yeah, he's in there. He's not racing, but he's in there. There goes Templar again, trying to dispatch of Jurgensen. Now Jurgensen has answered every call that Templar's made of him. Every attack Templar's made, Jurgensen has watched it go and then just close it back up. Really strong riding from both these European riders. Now it's Jurgensen's turn to take off up the front. Templar's having to work hard just to stay with him there. We're going to follow this all the way to the finish line now. It looks like we're going to come down to a sprint as we're almost at the crest of this little drag and no one's got away. So are they going to stay together right to the end and sprint it out? Or is someone just going to try and take off? There goes Jurgensen. Jurgensen's trying just as the road flattens out. He's pressing, but it's not a real attack. But it does look like he's just riding away ever so slightly. That gap seems to be opening just a little bit. And there he goes again. Jurgensen's attacking out the saddle. Let's see what Templar's got. And it appears he hasn't got anything. Makes his way around those AIs. And 300 meters to go now. Jurgensen has a 2-second gap. Now, unless Templar's going to get out of the saddle and do a cav right now, it's going to be all over. You can see in the background there, Jurgensen is going to take this victory. Templar just has no response. And I think the climb did it for both of them. There we go. Jurgensen takes the victory. Let's head back towards Templar now, just coming over the line in second position. Great riding from both those riders. Now, such was the action and the closeness of the top 10. I couldn't get everybody over the line, unfortunately, so my apologies for that. But as we pick up the action here, PK is coming over the line and he's in a battle with the Ox from Great Britain. Let's take a look at how this action unfolded. So it was PK leading Ox out, both of them sprinting out the saddle. Ox looks like he comes up onto the side of PK, but unfortunately not. PK has another dig. Ox tries to respond and you can see him trying to come around him here, trying to get in the wheel, trying to go again. PK just picking up a ride on towards the end. It looks like he's going to take it. He takes that sprint. Great action, great racing all the way down the groups today.